Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Oman International Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition discusses changes in prices and challenges of investment and employment in both sectors. Oman Academic Accreditation Authority inaugurates Institutional Standards Assessment Manual and imposes legal sanctions to protect quality of education. And a study for labor market shows private sector absorbing more than 30% of higher education graduates last year. Live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, here it's 7 o'clock news bulletin. Oman International Conference and Exhibition for Oil and Gas under the auspices of His Excellency Mohammed bin Zubair, Advisor to His Majesty the Sultan for Economic Planning Affairs. More details in the following report.
Challenges facing oil and gas sector and mechanism of overcoming difficulties hindering investment in the sector, as well as fluctuations in selling prices and employment, were discussed by Oman International Conference and Exhibition for Oil and Gas. The main aspects of the exhibition were investment and knowledge exchange, showcasing modern methods of production and exploration, holding bilateral agreements and partnerships, and offering a number of jobs for Omanis. The exhibition brings together a group of more than 300 international oil and gas companies and suppliers of technology and services in the industry. International expertise were present as well. A conference was earlier held discussing means of enhanced oil recovery, which the Sultanate pioneered in it, the periodical changes of oil prices, technological progress, and the role of fossil fuel in supporting sustainable development and making it more convenient to the environment. The exhibition will work on setting up regional strategies to deal with oil and gas with suitable economies of the countries on the long run.
Academic institutions which do not adhere to corporate standards will be subject to legal sanctions. This was revealed by Oman Academic Accreditation Authority during the inauguration ceremony of the Institutional Standards Assessment Manual. Oman Academic Accreditation Authority finished the academic scrutiny of 56 academic institutions according to the institutional standards. The manual included 9 international standards based on initial of responsibility, ensuring the quality of the higher education is the institution responsibility. The ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Saeed bin Hamid Al-Rubai, Secretary General for Education Council. 33% of the graduates are working in the private sector, according to a study survey conducted by the Minister of Higher Education for graduates in 2015. The ministry is currently implementing a survey of employers aiming 4,000 companies and establishments of the private sector to know the number of the graduates who are working for them, type of specializations needed to fill in, and determining difficulties facing these establishments of qualifications and capabilities of the graduates. The first transplant of aortic valve through catheter will be conducted in coming April. This was emphasized by the Minister of Health during a ceremony of reviewing achievements of the National Center for Treatment and Heart Surgery. The center mentioned that waiting list was ended completely for catheter system. Employees of the center who were able to finish the waiting list during work in the morning and evening shifts was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Saidi, Minister of Health. The Sultanate marks the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, which falls on the 21st of March each year. It came to stress on the principles of equality, freedom, as well as to ensure the individual rights through providing insurances and proper legal procedures. The Sultanate joined the International Convention for the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination in 2002. This day also came to spread awareness on the necessity to preserve human rights as well as coexistence, justice and peace, and to treat all human beings equally. The Islamic Sharia preserved all these rights 1,400 years ago. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television. Still to come in our news bulletin. 15 fine artists mark the Mother's Day in 30 artistic pieces. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Oman celebrates World Down Syndrome Day under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Said. More details in the following report. Raising the awareness of communities about Down syndrome and promoting understanding of how individuals with this condition live and cope, the Sultanate joined the world to mark the World Down Syndrome Day, which is celebrated on 21st of March annually. Down syndrome is a genetic condition in which chromosomes 21 divides into two, causing an individual to be born with Down syndrome, resulting in them having mild to moderate intellectual abilities. In December 2014, the Ministry of Social Development awarded Oman Down Syndrome ODSA Parent Support Group, the first ODSA association under the chairmanship of His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Said. His Highness spoke to us and said,
"We are part of this world and we're also developing a program for this type of Down syndrome scenario. We're trying to put up a program which can benefit and serve everybody. Inshallah, in future, those students will join the normal schooling, and I hope the program will be successful."
Today's celebration also marked the year completion of the official ODSA award in the recently acquired Adeba Villa, which facilitates various therapeutic methods that are used to support the children's development. The chief guest, His Highness, and other distinguished dignitaries toured the facility, accompanied by Mr. Ahmed Al Jabri. During the tour, they have witnessed therapists playing their role. Tremendous efforts made by the committee members of ODSA to ensure that individuals are being equipped with whatever their world has to offer. Mr. Ahmed Al Jabri, in his speech, said the association, as it continues its path of raising awareness and supporting the children, believes that the Omani society will instill positive role of nurturing and helping those with Down syndrome in order to have their voices heard. A view of relations between the Sultanate and France and discussions of a number of matters of mutual concern topped the focus of the meeting of His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harb Al Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, with His Excellency Roland Daubertran, Ambassador of France accredited to the Sultanate. They also had cordial talks during the meeting. Royal Opera House Muscat holds for a second time the Magical Flute Opera for Austrian composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. The show witnessed the participation of 1,500 students from more than 40 schools in the Governorate of Muscat to enrich thinking and encourage students to understand tolerance teachings and exposure to other cultures. The activity came to shed light on the life of the Austrian composer Mozart. It started by mimic performance and the presentation of a fictional opera about hero who performed a mission to save the heroine in the second chapter of the opera. The story turned into a spiritual trip which showed deep meanings about love and peace. The Italian team started its preparation for this activity from last November, who visited schools in the governorate of Muscat to train students on musical symphony and the play. This activity came to stress on the role of the Sultanate in supporting artistic culture. With the aim to continue development activities at Duqm Port and to provide multi-services in storing and logistics services, Duqm Port Company signed with the Duqm Domestic Development Company an agreement for leasing a plot of land of an area of 500 hectares in the concession area of the port for a period of 25 years. It is located at the commercial wharf. It will benefit in setting up numerous stores and transport equipment used in linking the port with the nearby oil fields, as well as continuation of logistics support at the Duqm Port. The agreement was signed by His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Futaysi, Minister of Transport and Communications and Chairman of Board of Directors of Duqm Port Company. A seminar on protecting the youth from the effects of drugs and narcotics was held in the Wilaya of Sohar. It came to stress on the efforts exerted by the families and the bodies concerned to protect the community from the social impacts of these phenomena. It targeted the younger generation, especially the youth category, to encourage them to participate in combating this social issue. It also highlighted the laws and regulations that combat this scourge, its types, sources and ways of treatment. On the sidelines of this seminar, an exhibition was organized showcasing pictures of types of drugs and booklets on ways of prevention. 30 artistic workers were showcased in an exhibition at Opera Galleria of Royal Opera House, Muscat. It was put up by Omani Fine Artists on the occasion of Mother's Day. The event was organized by Omani Fine Arts Association, in which 15 artists from different fine arts schools took part. It came in an appreciation for mothers and recognition for their roles, such as taking care for their children. The opening ceremony was presided over by Her Highness Sayyida Alia bint Thuwaini Al Said. Her Highness said the idea of the exhibition was totally centered around the mother, wishing all mothers good health and happiness, also urging the artists to keep up the good work. The portraits depicted mother's role in the past and present and in various Omani environments, as well as motherhood and other numerous caring and giving to the society. Coinciding with the celebration of Mother's Day, which falls on the 21st of March every year, the Omani Women Association organized a health forum in the governorate of Muscat. The forum aimed at raising awareness among mothers about diseases and that may affect them in their age categories. The forum comes to appreciate mothers' rights and preserve her safety, as the association honors some women who excelled in the society. It witnessed a wide participation of mothers and female school students. A number of doctors who participated in the forum gave advices to mothers. Omani women expressed their happiness on this occasion. With the aim of expanding police services in various governorates of the Sultanate, the Royal Oman Police held a ceremony to celebrate the opening of the Police Services building in the Wilaya of Masira in the governorate of South Sharqiya. It came to facilitate the services provided to citizens, as well as reduced the stress on services administrations in the related areas. It will serve the individuals in the fields of traffic, passports, residence and civil status. It also includes qualified qualified cadres and the latest technologies and communications. The citizens expressed that through this building they can complete their transactions easily. The opening ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Mustahil Shamaz, Governor of South Sharqiya. Aiming to spread awareness and to report to the authorities concerned in case of coming across any violations by distributors of different products. An awareness exhibition entitled Our Gulf, Our Consumption was held in the Wilaya of Ja'lan Bani Bu Ali in the Governorate of South Sharqiya. The exhibition comes within the context of celebrating the Gulf Week for Consumer Protection, aiming to highlight awareness among the people of the society with their legal rights as consumers. In order to aware families with the risk of roads and the importance of complying with traffic rules, the Family and Child Forum on Traffic Safety was launched in the Wilaya of Badiya, Governorate of North Sharqiya. The forum illustrated that speed and using mobile phones, as well as neglecting continuous maintenance of vehicles, are the main reasons leading to traffic accidents. Public Authority for Civil Defense and Ambulance continues celebrating World Civil Defense Day in various governorates of the Sultanate. In this context, the authority organized the celebrations in the Wilaya of Khasab to emphasize on the important role played by those working in the civil defense and the dangers they encounter when performing their job. The World Civil Defense Day, which falls on the 1st of March every year, came this year under the theme Civil Defense Modern Technology and Media and their role in the civil defense. The celebration held in the Wilaya of Khasab in the Governorate of Musandam was a chance to give a simulation on these tasks performed by civil defense staff, like dealing with accident, extinguishing fire and rescuing, in addition to displaying vehicles used by the Public Authority for Civil Defense and Ambulance. The celebration was accompanied by an exhibition that witnessed the participation of various bodies supporting the role of civil defense and ambulance. With the participation from more than 500 shooters from inside and outside the Sultanate, the shooting competition was concluded in the Wilaya of Mhadha at the Governorate of Buremi. It was organized by Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry in the Governorate. It witnessed a tough competition among the participants whom showed their skills and capabilities in shooting. The participant expressed that such events are considered important in preserving the traditional heritage and these deep-rooted sports, as well as to gather the members of the society. The conclusion ceremony witnessed poetic sessions and traditional dances. At the end, the participations were honored by His Excellency Sheikh Saif bin Mohammed Al-Shabibi, Minister of Housing, who presided over the event. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Oman International Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition discusses changes in prices and challenges of investment and employment in both sectors. Oman Academic Accreditation Authority inaugurates Institutional Standards Assessment Manual and imposes legal sanctions to protect quality of education. And a study for labor markets shows private sector observing more than 70 or 80% of higher education graduates last year. With that, we come to an end from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Thank you for joining us.